Hey everybody, it's Andy from SA Survival. We're going to have a perfect day today. The weather's fantastic, and today's the day that we get the tarps out and we can do a comparison. We're going to be looking at the DD Tarps, and I'll show you the array. So this is what we've got. 4 DD Tarps. A 3x3 olive green 19-point attachment, 190T polyester with 300mm PU coating, weighing in at 650 grams. The 4x4 in green, 190T polyester with 300mm PU coating, weighing in at 1290 grams, 19-point attachments. The multicam 4x4, 190T polyester with 300mm PU coating, weighing in again at 1290 grams. And then the big mother of all evil 4.5 meter by 3 meter in olive green, weighing in surprisingly a little bit less, 1020 grams, again with 19-point attachments, 190T polyester with PU coating. So let's have a look at this. I've set the multicam one up already, and then we're going to do a comparison between sizes. We're going to put the 4x4 up as it is, and then we'll have a look at the 4.5x3 and then the 3x3, and we'll see what the differences are and what applications you might be able to use them for, if not all of them, if you want to choose to get them all. So this is what we got: a 4x4 multicam tarp by DD. Attachment points along the bottom: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Along the ridgeline we have 3 additional connections to make a ridge. It's not very often that I run a ridgeline through the upper loops. I always put my ridgelines underneath, because you never know. I always want to put some carabiners on the ridgeline. I might want to just hang my bottles of water, my knife, this, that and the other on the top there. So I always run my ridgelines underneath of my top. But those ridgeline loops could be used for something else, and we'll show you towards the end of this video. What we've got here is the overlay of the DD multicam tarp 4x4 on top of the 4.5x3 olive green. I've left a bit of a gap right here just to show you where the green starts and where the multicam starts. If I bring them down, you can see the difference between the length. Okay, so the 3 has got 1 foot longer on each side. So when you pull your tarps out, you can see how much more coverage you're going to get from your ridgeline down to the anchoring point of your pegs. So again, what I've done is overlaid the 3x3, the 4x4, and the 4.5x3. They all start here. Let's have a look at the length on the other side. So 3, 4, 4.5, huge difference. So what we've got here is extra length of coverage covering your hammock. Now let's overlay the hammock and we'll see what coverage you get to protect you. So what you can see now is the hammock comparative to all 3 tarps giving you coverage. If we look at where our hammock knots end and where our tarp begins, on the 3x3 it covers enough on both sides. But when you get to the 4x4, you get another foot. So this 3 is the same for 3x3 as it is by the 4.5x3. This is the drop from your ridgeline to the ground. Now if we lay that with the 4x4, we get so much more ground clearance, giving us either extra height to make the hammock higher or closer to the ground to stop wind from coming in. The bonus with the 4.5x3 is going to be that you can actually reposition your guy lines, and you can enclose the whole tarp to make it 2 sealed ends for your tarp for your hammock, so the wind cannot get through and cool you down at night. So the 4.5x3 is good on length to encapsulate you. You could also do this with the 4x4, but there's no way you can do this with the 3x3. So comparative to your hammock, this is where it lies when it comes to protection. Now, what do you need? The first one that I got was my 3x3. It worked brilliantly. I was protected and never had a problem. I got into some heavy rain. I needed a little bit more protection, and I bought the 4.5x3, and I was able to go winter camping because I could close off my doors and be protected from the cold, wet air and the weather. Now I've upgraded another step. I bought the two 4x4s in olive green and multicam, and that's because I can vary these in any situation I want. These tarps are not just designed for hammocks. You could go ground to bivvy with a tarp protector. You could go for super lightweight camping, hammock camping obviously, or you could just set them up for protection if you're out picnicking, go for a hike, you get caught out by a bit of bad weather, or even an emergency shelter. The 3x3 is a perfect bivvy tarp. With a Gore-Tex bivvy bag, your sleeping bag, and this tarp, you'll be protected. The 4x4 and the 4.5x3 would be way too big to go if you're going ground camping or bivvy camping. But what do you need in weight? This would be good for super lightweight camping, but also by DD you can get their super light tarps, which are made of ripstop nylon, and it reduces the weight yet again. This is my DD travel hammock. So using the DD tarps in conjunction with the DD travel hammock, you get an idea of what it's like to see a hammock next to their own brand. Now, where can you buy these? Buy them from DD Hammock online out of the UK, which is where I bought my first two. The last two I've just bought, the 4x4s multicam and green. I bought them from camogroup.ca out of central Alberta, Canada. Speak to Rob and he'll get it out to you as fast as possible. Talk about blowing my expectations. I was expecting my tarps to be here within 2 days, and they arrived within 1 day. So great service from those guys, and punctual. Send them an email if you've got any questions. They answer your emails. They're pretty prompt at doing stuff like that, and they're a phenomenal organization. And it's also nice not just to have Canadian and US surplus gear. They also have an array of British gear. So check them out, camogroup.ca. Rob, I just want to say thanks very much for all of your work. It was brilliant that I could get these out, and finally, after waiting for all the rain to disappear, I can get these tarps out and show everybody what they look like. So guys, that's the multicam tarp. I also have the 4x4 in green. I've got so many tarps now that I can go and do whatever I like. I can use them on both my trailers as side protection, roof protection, added protection. They're for my hammocks. I can go bivvying. I'm looking forward to using them, whether it be against the sun or whether it be against the rain or the wind. What I do like is the enforced stitching that they've made in the corners. They've reinforced it with PU, double stitched it, and a loop, big loops, so you can put quite a bit of stuff through there. I might have expected something different from their newer multicam, but again, it's exactly the same as the previous stuff that I've had for a couple of years. They come with 4 guy lines, which I think would be nice if you could come with 6 or 8, purely because of the different configurations that you can do. But a simple quick slip knot, and you can pull these off and reconfigure anyway. The material. So looking through the multicam tarp, it's quite light. If we look at the 4x4, it's light too. Rid of the multicam. But again, I just find that this one's a little bit lighter, so caution to you people that like to be in the dark, as I do. It might be a bit bright for you first thing in the morning. But that's a minor negative point on my behalf, nothing to do with DD. So another configuration, I've turned the Ridgeline now 90 degrees so that the Ridgeline comes off to the middle of the tarp. One thing you can do is you can actually use the center of those Ridgelines now to pull the middle piece of your tarp out. It's great for when you're inside and you want a bit more space. Maybe it's raining hard and you're going to be sitting in your hammock and just chillaxing inside of there. You want a bit more headroom, pull this piece out. That's another good thing what DD did by putting the Ridgeline loops in there. Okay, so you get 3 extra ones of these. You get them all around the bottom and 3 extra over the middle, and from there you can pull these back. These are great, giving you more headroom, as you can see inside, so you can put more gear inside of here. Tarps, one of the most expensive parts of your kit, to be honest with you, and I've not been able to find any good ones until I came across DD. DD, bang for your buck, way better. You can buy Cuban fiber tarps, 250 plus US dollars. You can get ripstop nylon, they're great as well, lightweight. The downside to some of that product is they were small. Mountain Equipment Co-op, they have various sizes, but their average size for about $130 is 3 meters by 2 point something, 2.5, 2.8, 2.9 meters. And DD's, this is a 4x4. Yes, the multicam is slightly more expensive, but you're looking between $90 and $110 depending on green or multicam. So again, finding good quality tarps, you know, it's hard to find, especially the material that they've made for DD. The quality is really good. Their strengthening points are really good. Their anchoring points are great. I mean, 19 loopholes. I don't think you can find another tarp that has 19 loopholes. So this can be configured in any way, shape or form. You can see some of the other guys out there on YouTube that they've modified them. They've put loops in themselves. But DD's thought about that already, and they've already put them in there for you. You've seen the corners. The corners are reinforced. The downside, I'm not going to go into negativity. I'm not a very negative guy. 6 guy wires would have been nice. 4 for each corner, 1 for each corner and 2 for this sort of configuration. 4 of the standard size would be great, and 2 additional ones that were slightly longer, maybe by 2 feet would be good. This loop could do with being a little bit longer, but in this configuration, I've still got half of this to be slackened off and given me more room. As it is, I have plenty. But another 2 of these would be great. 1 for each corner and 1 on each side for pulling this out would be great. I did upgrade the pegs. I took away the conventional tent pegs, which are great, but there's a lot of loose stuff here, or very shaly stuff, and compacted down. In here it's great, but I put the V-shaped pegs in there just to give it a little bit more bite. Again, that's not being negative, that's just an upgrade I did. The only extra thing would be an extra 2 guy wires. That would complement this setup on any of their tarps phenomenally. What did I do with the Ridgeline? I told you I put the Ridgeline underneath of the tarp. How do I connect it and pull it tight? I'll show you that right now. I got a simple bit of string, 24 inches, 20 inches. Just a simple shoelace knot. The beginning part, go over my Ridgeline. I just go over, under, over, under, over, and just finish off the shoelace part. I've made a press-it knot and I pull it tight. And that's my Ridgeline pulled tight. Ridgeline's underneath. My tarp is tight, just keeping simple slip knots so you don't have to keep undoing super tight knots when they got wet and then they've dried out. So that's my Ridgeline connection. You can see on this angle how much side pull you have, and if we go on the inside, I know I haven't pegged the back side out, but it gives you an idea right there how much more room you would get. Instead of it being straight down the sides, you're creating a bit more of a gap. So yes, I'll put the links below to DD Hammocks and to camogroup.ca. I'll also put Mounting Equipment Co-op's website in there, and you can also have a look. Trying to find decent tarps, like I said, is really hard, especially good quality ones, the nice size. But once you've got them, they should last forever. I abuse these a lot. They're around the fire. You see the green ones have got white ash all over them. They do get small holes in them, but you have to be prepared not to get them too close to the fire. But they've never become any issue to me, and I love them. So thanks to DD, thanks to Camogroup and Rob. What DD did was come up with a great multicam pattern doesn't copy the British, the Americans, the Canadians, or anybody else. They came up with their own design, and as a backdrop, it works really well. I'm in a slightly enclosed wooded area behind my house, and if we pan this out, it actually blends in really nicely. So if you're going stealth camping and don't want to be seen, this could be a tarp for you. And there you have it. Well, I hope you like this presentation on DD Tarps. Again, thanks to the guys out at camogroup.ca for your work and getting this out to me. And for DD Hammocks for getting me into the product out of the UK as well. If you like this video, please subscribe. Thanks for following me. And again, survive to be alive.